Hi viewers, and welcome to February's Earth Predictions reading for 2014. I missed the January one because I have been a little bit busy and unable to do the reading for January. So Happy New Year to you all, and Happy Chinese New Year. We are about to embark on the Year of the Horse in the Chinese philosophy or astrology world. The horse, I think, personally has a better feel than the snake and the dragon from the two previous years, although the horse is still denoted to be a bit stubborn and impatient, and we know that the horse can give a jolly swift kick if it ever wants to. And they can be a little, they can be very determined though, so hard working and determined. I think that leads into the whole year ahead. It is going to be a hard working year, but I think with determination and strength, we'll get through it. Anyhow, moving into the cards for the reading, the very first card for the very first reading of the year is the puzzle, which is interesting because it has never ever yet come out in any of the Earth prediction readings. I'm not fully sure how to interpret it, so I sort of have made a few notes regards the actual card. And to me, when I use this card for personal readings with people, it gives me the feel of things that I'm not actually meant to know about. So there are some things that are really kept hidden from us, and that's just the way of the world. And I have a feeling about this puzzle card that some of it is being hidden, or something that's going to happen that's unexpected, that we really knew nothing about. I also get the feeling that the card does align up with autumn coming, so the northern hemisphere. It's got a wintry feel about it. It's got a feel of royalty in some way or another, and possibly Canada or Scotland or up through that Middle East area, or sorry, not Middle East but European area. Doors being locked. It's got a feeling of the number 2. We are doing this reading for the second month of the year, so that sort of fits as well. There's locked doors, so something's locked in, hidden agendas, things being kept from us. I did wonder when I got the feeling about Canada, and you'll see this a little bit later in the reading as well, the destruction card turned up, and that has that whole feeling of fires and buildings and loss of life. And I know recently in Canada there's been a dreadful rest home fire where 30 elderly victims have lost their lives, and I think maybe that energy's around the cards a little bit. But anyhow, that's pretty much how I've summed up the puzzle card for the first reading of 2014. Bit of a difficult one. The next card that arrived is the Fool. I think we've mentioned before that the Fool has the feeling of shaking, so I think of quakes, and often again can be northern hemisphere. That house sitting on the edge feels like it's going to tumble off, and there are other things that make houses tumble off, such as surges of water and mudslides, things like that, ice slides, or something that makes buildings move unexpectedly off their foundations. That person there, the Fool, is going out on a new journey, so we're starting something new. There is new energy coming in, not necessarily being looked into particularly well. Sometimes it's the journey of c'est la vie, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyhow. The next card that arrived is the Stars. This is another one that hasn't particularly come out a lot, but I often think of it as meaning planetary lineups, things to do with the sun or the moon or the other planets, the known planets in our solar system. It can also have to do with space exploration, satellites for us here on Earth, the learning of new technology around space, astrology and astronomy. So all of those things to do with the heavens and the space, and things from space, and things falling from space or moving through space. It can also indicate not knowing a specific answer, and that it's already something that's going to happen regardless of whether you try to fix it or not, like it's on a predetermined path. The next card that arrived was the Home card. With the Home card, we often think of houses again, so there's two messages there with houses being affected one way or another, or homes. There's a fire in the picture there, so fires, whether or not that's in homes or trees, could be heat, or animals are affected. We've had a lot of pilot whale strandings here in New Zealand in the last month or so, which has been particularly stressful, and we've lost a lot of the pilot whales. We've been unable to get them back out into the sea. I'm not sure what's causing that. It's particularly sad to witness. We've also had the horrendous slaughtering of the dolphins up with the Japanese at the moment going on, which is particularly unpleasant. So that card can have a lot of those energies, and as well for us here in New Zealand, that home card designates close energy, so something to do with New Zealand and our surrounding neighbours, which are Australia and the close Pacific Islands. Can be shaking, quaking, or things, weather related issues, or maybe even something to do with family or home related issues that pops up that may not necessarily be particularly nice, like an unusual crime that comes into the news. The next card that arrived is the destruction card. We never really like seeing this when it comes out, and we'll often talk about towers being affected, or tall buildings that collapse, or fires, obviously, things that come from the sky like fireballs, meteorites, asteroids, rockets, lightning, storms that create that type of atmosphere, destruction, things being destroyed, war, killings, fear. And the last card that arrived is the body. And this again shows that whole cellular level and pain to the body. Can often indicate mass deaths that aren't particularly pleasant, where the bodies are physically damaged one way or another, which again brings to mind that Canadian rest home issue that happened just 2 days ago, I believe. That's the type of feeling you get with that card. You can also get new health issues cropping up to do at the cellular or DNA level, so maybe new viruses popping up, could be, you know, like a new flu virus or a bird flu virus. It can also mean new vaccines brought to the fore, which is a positive, of course, so something to do with health that works around at the cellular level and DNA level. Well guys, that's about it for February's reading. It's a pretty full-on one to start the year. I did say in my 2014 prediction that I felt this was going to be a full-on beginning to the year, and it certainly has so far with the polar vortex that the USA and Canada went through themselves a few weeks ago. We've had a pretty big earthquake here in New Zealand to start the year off as well. So she's chugging along. I just say hold tight, go with the flow. Whatever you get dealt with, you deal with it, you move on, and you become stronger for it. But anyhow guys, take care, kia kaha, stand tall, all the best wishes for 2014, much aroha, peace and happiness, and thank you for watching. Kia kaha.